My father was older and was drafted into the First World War in the artillery, but he lost a leg. He was looking for work, which wasn't forthcoming, and then Major Howson, they met in some way, and Major Howson asked my father and interviewed him, obviously, told him what he wanted to do, and his attitude was that he had to do something for all these ex-servicemen. My father was asked to obtain some premises, and they were going to start a small company, first of all with 4 other guys in Bermondsey. My mother and father were asked by Major Howson whether they could make flowers for this flower company, they were going to call it. And my father and mother made flowers, including carnation and other things, I think a rose and other things, and a poppy. He then came back to my father and said that what was happening, and they were going to pursue the poppy. They started employing more chaps, and then they got further grants for a factory, and then they came to Richmond, and my father oversaw the building and the installation of all the jigs and what have you for these ex-servicemen, and it went from there. Having been born here, as a child, I suppose you could call it very military, because my father was the foreman. I wasn't allowed to mix. I was kept indoors until my father died. Literally, I was 9, and then, or just before, and then, of course, I was allowed out and run amok. And the thing that sticks to my mind is seeing these chaps go home at the end of the working day in these prams. It was like a pram with a 2-stroke engine in it, and they steered them like this, and see them tearing out the gate, you know. Once my father went, my mother married again to an ex RAF chap, and they ran the Remembrance Club for years. I used to have to go and stack the bottles and clean, and then they used to have parties. When they had snooker, I can remember I was sent down into Richmond to get this Stilton cheese, and she used to make this Stilton cheese and onion sandwiches, and I can remember they used to go mad for that, these chaps. They used to play all the police and lots of them in the area in those days. You know, it was a good setup. My feelings were that Major Howson and the 5, including my father, were not thought about and not talked about. I feel that they were swept aside in some ways. My father, I think Major Howson thought a lot of him, you know, for what he did. It's delightful to see what you've done. You know, it's very pleasing, and I'm pleased I've come to see it.